Hello friends, welcome to today's class. So today we are going to be solving quadratic equation. Just ensure you like and subscribe. So first we'll try both the um, factorization method and also the formula method for today. Then we'll try completing the square in our next class. So solution, let's start by writing our equation x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. Trying this method of factorization, first what to consider is take the product of x squared and 6. That is, this is going to give us 6x squared, and then the sum is, this is the product and the sum is minus 5x. So now the product of this and this is 6x squared. The sum we are having is minus 5x. So why do we call it sum? We want to look for factors such that when we add them, we'll have this. When we add those factors, we'll have this. When we multiply those factors, we have this. So now, and the obvious numbers we can see is minus 2x plus minus 3x. Adding these two is going to give us, because minus 2x plus minus 3x is going to be minus 5x. And multiplying these two is going to give us minus 2 times minus 3 is 6, and x times x squared. So can you see? So we have our product and we have our sum. So if this is the case, so now let's apply it here. So we have x squared minus 2x minus 3x plus 6 equals 0. It doesn't matter if you put the minus 3x first and minus 2x second. The key thing is that so far it satisfies that the product of this and this is 6x squared and the sum is this. You can factorize what is common between. So now checking, we check what is common between these two and what is common between these two. Let's check for what is common here. What is common between these and these? We can notice that we have x common. We have x common here. Factoring out that x, we are left with x in the bracket minus what is common after removing x, we are having 2, such that when we multiply this, we are getting back to this. Minus 3 can be common, or is common. Minus 3 is common. Then we are left with x in the bracket, such that after factoring out minus 3, we are left with minus 2 equals 0. C, such that when we multiply this by this, we have x squared. This by this, we have minus 2x. So minus 3x times x is minus 3x. So minus 3 times minus 2 is going to give us plus 6. So we are correct. What is common between these two? We notice that x minus 2 is common. All into, after removing what is common, we are left with x minus 3 equals 0, because factor x minus 2 here, we are left with x here. Then factoring out x minus 2, we are left with minus 3. So now this is what we have. This is what we have. Now our x minus 2 equals 0, and or this x minus 3 equals 0. So we have it as x equal 2 and x equal 3. So the values of our x that satisfy this equation is x equal 2 and x equal 3, such that either you choose to substitute x as 2 to satisfy this equation, either you choose to substitute 3 to satisfy this equation. So let's try substituting this into this. Substituting the value of x as 2, if we try that, 2 squared minus 5 times 2 plus 6 equals 0. 2 squared is going to give us 4 minus 5 times 2. That's going to give us minus 5 times 2 is going to be 10 plus 6 equals 0. So now note that 4 plus 6 is going to give us 10 minus 10 equals 0. So 0 equals 0, which implies x equal 2 is valid. So trying for x equal 3. So we checked for x equal 2 here, for x equal 2 here. So for x equal 3, substituting it in x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. So 3 squared minus 5 times 3 plus 6 is it going to be equal 0? 3 squared is 9 minus 5 times 3 is minus 15 plus 6 equals 0. So you know that 9 plus 6 is 15 and minus 15, 0 equals 0, which implies x equal 3 satisfy our equation. So that means both x as 2 and x as 3 is correct. So let's try using the formula method. So we have written down our equation again so that we use the formula method. So I will know for our x value, we are going to, usually our formula is given as minus b plus or negative the root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And note that our a in this equation is the coefficient of x squared. The coefficient of x squared is 1. So our b is the coefficient of x, which is minus 5. Minus 5. And our c is this constant, which is plus 6. So put 6. Substituting it directly to our equation, we have it as minus 5 plus or negative root of minus 5 squared minus 4 times what is our a1 times our c, which is 6, all divided by 2 times what is our a1. So if this were to have, so now that's going to be, so minus 5, that's going to be positive 5 plus or negative the root of minus 5 squared is going to be 25. Either, so far you're squaring a negative number, it's going to be positive. If you're squaring a positive number, it still remains positive. So take note of that. So minus 5 all squared is 25. Minus, so you see 4 times 6. So now 4 times 6 is going to be 24. All divided by 2 times 1. So this is what we have for our x. It's going to be equal to 5 plus or negative root of 25 minus 24, that's 1 over 2. So simplifying further, that's going to be 5 plus or negative root of 1 is 1 all over 2. So now our x is equal to either 5 plus 1 over 2, and the other value is, that's our x1, and our x2 is going to be 5 minus 1 over 2. So this is what we are going to have. So our first value of x is going to be the positive, so 5 plus 1 over 2, and the second value is going to be 5 minus 1 over 2. So x1 is going to be 5 plus 1 is going to be 6 over 2, and x1 is going to be equal 6 divided by 2 is 3. And here again, x2 is going to be 5 minus 1, which is 4 divided by 2. So x2 is going to be 4 divided by 2 is 2. So you can note that our x values are 3 and second x value is 2. So this is what we have in for this particular equation: x squared minus 5x plus 6 equal 0. So the x that satisfy this equation is x as 3 and x as 2. So we've checked how to use both the factorization method and also the formula method. Thank you for watching. If you like and subscribe, we're going to check for the last method in our next class. Thank you for watching.